Hello, friends. This is Melody, and I am recording the live with Melody Tuesdays with Melody because it looks like I'm having some technical issues, and I think that it may be difficult to hear. I didn't really listen to it. I could just tell that the camera looks like it's very blurry because of the speed, and it's not really coming through very well. So I wanted to go ahead and re-record this so that when I upload it, it won't be fuzzy and that you'll be able to see it better. So today I was talking to you about worth it. Are you worth it? Baby, I'm worth it. Do you know that song? That's how it goes, right? Well, my name may be Melody, but I'm not always the best at singing, so that's not my strong suit. But anyway, and anyhow, so what I'm talking about is worth and your value. And if you're watching the replay, then put hashtag replay. I guess everyone's watching a replay, hello, right? Because I'm recording this. I'm not doing a live, so that changes everything. Well, worth it, I feel like goes back to knowing who you are and knowing your value and knowing what it means to be who you are. So I was thinking about this a lot. I've been really pondering on this and really concentrating on this because in relationships, what happens is sometimes we can get discouraged because they aren't acting a way that we want them to act. And I always look at myself and say, what in me is I'm not loving? What is in me where this is resonating with them so that this is a sore in me? Because if someone tells me that I'm lazy or that I have purple hair, it's not going to hurt me because, yeah, I have purple hair and I know I'm not lazy. So if you say I'm lazy, I'm like, whatever. I know I'm not lazy, so I don't care. So you can say that, but if they're saying things to you to insult you, and it insults you, then I know that I have an issue going on. So there's a discrepancy and I need to look and find out why. So I always take a look and I take a deep dive into myself instead of just like looking out there and saying everything that's wrong with you. I look in here and into my heart to see what's going on with me and to find out why is that hurting me? Why is that a trigger? Because I know if I heal what's going on in me, that wound, there will be no trigger. And so I had been really thinking about this idea of worth, and I realized it also has to go back to a vision. And I know that vision can mean so many things, and it's whatever you see yourself to be able to do, it's what you can see yourself in the future doing, it's what you see. So if you can never, because anything that we want, we've arrived there first in our mind. We've already had it in our mind. And I know that sometimes when people have a really strong goal, they will have looked at it and seen it in their mind so much, it's almost a letdown when they do achieve it because they've already had the thrill of making it that achievement and that vision in their mind. And so when they get there, they're like, this is all it was. And that is because the mind has already gone there and already celebrated and already put the way. But if we hadn't put that mind work into it, then it wouldn't it wouldn't have come to pass in that same fashion. So I realized that I was having a discrepancy. And in that, I mean, I was seeing myself, um, let's say that there's a banquet. Okay, like even in the Bible, they talk about a banquet table and that you'll eat at the banquet table in the presence of your enemies and all these things. I had written down a verse, but I don't think I have the notes right here. So it's not in these notes. And what I know is that I started realizing that the vision I have had of myself was not congruent with even what God would say to me or say about me. And I realized that I wasn't even seeing myself as really a daughter. What I saw myself more as a slave. And I think of like Cinderella with the cinders and the ashes and the dirt all over me, being the one that is cleaning up after everyone. And I was not sitting like a favored child at the table. I was seeing the food that they had dropped and eating it off the ground like an animal, right? Like that's what like a dog would do. They'd come in there and lick the food up off the ground. Well, that's what I was seeing myself like, not as an empowered, not empowered, but just like not even as a valuable guest. So that affected my worth, and that affected whether I feel like I am deserving of God's good things, God's blessings, God's love towards me. It would make me push it away, because inevitably, if I'm not worth it, and I don't see myself sitting even at the table, because I don't even see that I'm a daughter. I see myself more as a slave, as low class, as someone who's not valuable. If I'm seeing myself in this way, then what does that do to me? That puts me at a disadvantage, because I do not feel like my voice matters. My gifts matter. I don't feel like I'm valuable to other people. I don't feel lovable. And so I would feel unworthy, right? Unworthy of any good thing, unworthy of being blessed, unworthy of so many things, or even unworthy that the voice that God put in me to be heard. So it would affect the way that I would posture myself. So then in that way, I would cower, I would shrink, I will, and I've talked about this some in the past. But I had a new revelation of it. And when I saw that vision and of myself, and this was just recently, just a few days ago, I saw that in my vision, and it was like, because as I was meditating and praying and just really, seeking wisdom on this, I realized that that was a discrepancy that I was having. And in that discrepancy, it was preventing me from the goal and the vision that I actually want to have, because of this other vision was coming in front of it and preventing me from allowing. So it was like this invisible lid, and I would hit the lid and hit the lid and just keep hitting that lid, this invisible barrier. And it was the thing: I'm not worthy. I don't deserve it. I'm unlovable. No one can love me. See, everyone abandons me. See, no one wants to spend time with me. See, I don't deserve, and it doesn't matter whether it's a thing, it can be money. See, I'm not deserving of money, just like a person. It doesn't worthy of that good gift, that nice house, that nice car, that I don't care what that thing is. It would make me feel, I would feel that way internally. So that's not in alignment. And our pastor's doing a series right now on So Rich, SOW Rich. And he even said in it that God wants us to be so rich. And we're talking about the parable of the sowers, right? And I realized that if I did not, the way I see myself has a lot to do with how I can be blessed, because it inhibits my capacity and it makes me shrink and not expand. And I don't want to be in that place. And so if this is resonating with you, let me know. Heart it, like it, share it. This is also on my YouTube channel. And so if you would be so kind as to subscribe to it, that will help me. And share it if this is a message that resonates and you feel like your people would love it. And invite someone to my group, where we have a great thing, a great community of love and support that encourages each other. And if you have any questions or you want to reach out, please do. I would love to speak with anyone who does not feel like they're worthy, doesn't feel like they deserve good things, feels like no one loves them or cares about them. Or like sometimes I would just say, well, yeah, my kids care about me because they're supposed to, because who doesn't, care about their mom? Like that's what they're supposed to do. All, kids naturally are going to do that without, but that's not like, it's not the same as like a friend or an outside person to choose to love and support you, right? I'm just being real here. If this is resonating, then let me know, like I said, and know your value, know your worth, know that it's not based on what you do. It's based on who you are. As a mom, I don't care exactly what my kids do, because they are alive and I gave birth to them. I love them, right? I love them. Now, it doesn't mean I agree with everything they do. It doesn't mean that I think that I'm approving. But what it does mean is I love you. I love you regardless of what you did. I love you in spite of your actions. I love you no matter what. And my desire for you is for good. And if I even just allowed myself to be in that position of me as a mom to my kids, knowing that that's how I'm loved by my creator and by my maker, by the divine God, then it changes everything. It changes the way that I posture myself. It changes the way that I show up. It changes the way whether I'm cowering down. It changes everything, because what has changed is my mindset. And so now the way I'm not asking you for your approval. I'm not asking you to love me. I already have that, and I don't need to seek it outside of myself. And it's a game changer. Now, I'm probably sure in the future I'll have more things to evolve and grow into and step into. But right now, it's been very profound for me just having that shift of this slight thinking, of just knowing that that was what my vision was of myself, and how disempowering that was, and how that isn't what, even if I'm believing what, the Bible even says about how I am deserving of being at the table, and that I'm invited to sit at the table, then why would I exchange that so that I could be the one who eats the scraps off the ground? So I, I'm encouraging you to just see, how do you see yourself? And if you don't feel lovable or worthy or not good enough or any of those things that puts you down, it becomes an invisible ceiling. It becomes a block to allowing you to achieve your goals, your vision, your dream, though that's so important vision that God put into you, that inspiration, and that you're not really living up to it, then go back and check, how do you see yourself? Do you believe you're worth it? Do you know your value? I love you guys. This is Melody Self, and I am your life coach for women, to empower you and get you unstuck so that you can unleash your dreams. Love you. Bye for now.